model, actress, tour operator, Ethiopian promoter. Nikki Tsegaye, aka Nikki Tsegaye, has come all the way from the United States of America to her home, Ethiopia, and I'm going to spend some time with her talking about Ethiopian film industry, Ethiopian tourism, and other pertinent issues in this edition of Addis Dialogue. With the program, I'm Shifarao Lakao. Do stay with us. Nikki, thank you so much for joining me.
My pleasure.
And welcome home.
Thank you.
To start with, can you tell us more about yourself, for the people that aren't that familiar with you?
Okay, well, Nikki Tsegaye. Of course, I am an artist, but just to overall give you a little introduction. I've been away from this beautiful country for a long, long time. I'm an ex-model, actress, singer, former Miss Ethiopia once upon a time. And of course, I really worked so hard in tourism industry for the last 18 years, representing the Hilton Hotel. And at this time, I would love to say thank you to Hilton, exactly where we are right now, for sponsoring everything that I'm doing here and for treating me like a queen while I'm staying here. And it's just my baby, Hilton. That's who I am.
What are the major activities that you are doing now in the States and here?
Well, let's start from the States. So in States, like I said, my full-time job is timeshare real estate, representing Hilton Hotel for almost over 18 years. I have generated over $50 million for the company, and I was blessed to get a top producer position, or really a top producer title in the company. And besides that, of course, my art is always on the site, and I was working hard on an album because it's my passion, but my primary job is, of course, my real estate. So as an artist, I decided to share my music, which a lot of people don't know. My previous music or a single that I released here in the country at one time, and I also have a full album.
What is the title?
It's under Salam. Okay. It's a full album, but about 9 years ago when I came to Ethiopia, I appeared on ETV. After we finished everything, the promotion, I had to run out time, and we didn't release the CD properly, so it was not introduced properly. Hopefully now people will listen and enjoy my art.
Yeah, I hope so. Let me just dive into the Ethiopian tourism industry, and let's take some time talking about that. You are a tour operator as well, in addition to those lots of positions that you assume. So as a tour guide and promoter of Ethiopia, what is your evaluation of Ethiopia as a tourist destination, not only for Ethiopians, but also for those coming from abroad?
So that's a very good question, because 9 years ago when I came back to Ethiopia, I had a meeting with Tourism Minister and Mr. Ermias Amalga. The plan was for me, since I have really accumulated a lot of database through the company that I represent for over 18 years, Hilton Grand Vacation Club. We now have, if I don't exaggerate a little bit, it was about 1.5 million tourists exist in our directory. So there is a company directory that we give that has 4,500 properties in 100 countries. So we refer to it as an RCI, Resort Condominiums International. So this directory at that time, as I was promoting and welcoming and signing tourists in the States, I noticed something, because in the directory there was an Ethiopia map, and there was a big X on the Ethiopia. So I was really disappointed. I had to go all the way to the VPs, and I had to let them know that they shouldn't do that. They shouldn't X you know, that part of the country, Africa, because I knew we had some resorts here in Ethiopia. So I said maybe they didn't know. So I need to inform them. So I had a meeting with the people who are in charge of the directory that we give every year to the tourists. Like I said, we have a database of 1.5 million tourists. They listened and they honored. They opened Ethiopia the following year, and I was absolutely happy. So my meeting 9 years ago with the tourism minister in Ethiopia was the fact that we're opening the Langano resort and the Hilton resort here. And for us to promote tourism, if we can channel those tourists to show them this amazing land that we have here with amazing authentic culture, real history, I know is gonna promote our country, at the same time gives the tourists a pleasure and education. So I'm still working hard towards that, and my future goal is to open that channel properly, and hopefully, you know, the tourism minister or whoever is in charge in this country will pay attention to what I'm trying to promote and help my country. And that's my, you know, desire.
Thank you so much for your, you know, detailed explanation. Ethiopia has huge tourist attractions, untapped tourist attractions and destinations. But despite these riches, Ethiopia has not, you know, benefited enough from these blessings, so to speak. So what are some of the reasons that you noticed in this regard?
It's just packaging. So we need to have someone, whoever is in charge here in Ethiopia, we need to package the excursion, the sites, and we need to have a smooth touring guide for them from the get-go, from the US to give them a good service to the airline, all the way as soon as they get here, a warm welcome to the tourist, and then directly to a comfortable accommodation, and then give them the tour guide and just have a full itinerary. That way they have an amazing experience. For instance, I was here almost a month, and I have met tourists here, staying here at the Hilton, that came from the US, from UK. They are absolutely excited about the experience they had. And I just had a talk with them, and they said they can't wait to come back. They literally said, we don't want to go back. And they actually said they were going to promote Ethiopia like there's no tomorrow. And they were blasting their Facebook and Instagram and all that. And their friends were like, wow, you know, sign me up. You know, they didn't know. So we need a good representation. And I will work hard for that to happen. Because, I mean, we have so much to give the country, and the true story about our country and how proud we are to represent it. So we need a team to channel those 1.5 million people so we can benefit, and our country can benefit from this.
Yeah, you know, this is what the reality is on the ground, right? Ethiopia is a wonderful nation. But how popular is Ethiopia, you know, overseas?
Not as much as they should. We should expose it and present it in front of the world, and it will happen in time. And we're all working hard, and I know, and I'm very pleased to see that.
Ethiopia has, as you know, many unique attraction sites with a history spanning some 3,000 years, right? However, this African nation is not basking in its blessings or historical sites, man-made sites, as it should. So how should Ethiopia globally be promoted so that it will benefit more, in your view?
Well, again, one more time, to really open the channel for the tourists so they can come in, and if we give them an amazing experience while they're staying here, word of mouth, they will go and talk about it. Not only that, we need to have brochures, and we need to have infomercials running with all our TV stations, you know, in the U.S. because we do have international coverage through some of our channels. So what we need to do is we need to constantly update what's new and what we want them to see. Instead of just talking about the bad side of Africa, let's show them how this is a blessed and, you know, just full of history and rich country it is. And it's our job, you know, to promote our country. So this is just a beginning, and I know we're going to go further.
In your discussion with tourists, what are some of the things that they told you that Ethiopia should improve in its tourism industry?
Staying here and meeting and talking to a lot of tourists, couple things I point out, and I actually gave the feedback to the hotel here. Since we're going to attract them to come in and see Ethiopia, we should recruit people who can speak English very well so that they're comfortable with communication. That's one of the things they suggested. And the number two, as they're staying in Ethiopia, I think we need to improve and maybe be ready with international cuisine.
Oh.
So they're accustomed to going to a vacation or any part of the world and automatically assume that they're going to have international cuisine. So we need to work on that a little bit. Other than that, our weather is beautiful. It's just they're having a blast here. And those are the couple of things that I would say we should improve on.
Let's also talk about yourself. You know, you are the former Miss Ethiopia. You are an actress. You are a tour operator, among other responsibilities. So with all such responsibilities, what are some of your plans in the future, you know, in promoting Ethiopia or other issues?
Part of exposing Ethiopia would be diversity or through music. And so since music is my passion, I'm actually writing a song that was hopefully supposed to be a soundtrack to Hollywood. I was discovered since I did some acting, couple movies, major films like Scream 2, A Night at the Roxbury, and a lot of small parts in Hollywood. I was approached recently by a producer who wrote a book that has something to do with our country, and it's called The Ninth Templar. So I'm writing a music for that. So through that, or through the single music that I'm going to be releasing soon, I love to communicate our culture. So my music is a good communication system.
Absolutely.
So Mr. Dan Allen, who's a writer of The Ninth Templar, that got a recognition in Hollywood.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So I was asked if I can write some music, and they want me to be part of that movie one way or the other. So I'm working on that. Also, recently I met a very, very, very legend guitar player named Mr. Abraham Rezene. He's Eritrean descent, and I had an opportunity to work with him and to be there for him. And during our good communication and helping each other, he awarded me, for my good deeds, he awarded me an amazing music, and it's coming soon, and I can't wait for that to happen. Other than that, my main reason to coming to Ethiopia also is about 2 years ago, I inherited 6 children that were adopted by my brother, Danny. He was an amazing engineer, and unfortunately, 2 years ago, he passed away.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. So he came to Ethiopia and adopted 6 kids and helped them for about 8 years. And his last word was for me to take over the kids. I'm sorry. And I did. After I helped them for 2 years, I don't know them, so I had to come meet them. And I was so excited to meet them live here. And these kids It doesn't matter who they are, what tribe they came. They're from all kinds of tribes here in Ethiopia. And I was pleased to be taken over, and I really took care of them, made sure everything is set for them, you know, from books, holidays, needs, and, you know, education, accommodation. So this is my responsibility now, and I would definitely appreciate people supporting my art in the future, because it's going to raise more children than 6, and that's also my future dream, to make sure these kids graduate, maybe even go abroad and open a channel for them to educate themselves.
Yeah, you know what? It's a noble cause. You know, despite the huge loss that you had to have. It's a noble cause. It's sustaining the legacy of whatever your brother is doing, and you should be proud of that, right? So, how are the kids doing now?
They're doing amazing. They're actually very excited to see me, and I just want to give credit. Caltrack, which is my brother's company, and his dear friends, a lot of engineer Ethiopians that work in the same firm. They're the one who actually supported him to start this. Once he started, he actually approached each one of them, and they start contributing a little bit, and then he took over after that. And after him, of course, you know, here I am 100% taken over to make sure that they're good and they're happy. You know, a couple of them need special needs that I'm working on, particularly one. He had an accident when he was a child, so he had an artificial leg. So I'm trying to see if I can find somebody who can help us taking care of him, you know, create their shoes, or maybe, you know, permanent, something that makes him comfortable walking. So I'm working on that. Other than that, they're just beautiful kids, just amazing. I was so pleased to see them. They were here with me at the Hilton. I brought them. Yes, I invited them and had meal with them.
So do you have any message to concerned bodies, concerned authorities, you know, if they want to help you?
I mean, whoever wants to help, I am open, because to me, you know, so far I've done a lot for the community, even in Las Vegas, for the Ethiopian community. I have contributed a lot, and I always use, you know, my own resources. But I think, you know, if people participated, we will be able to do more. That's my dream.
You know, since you're an actress and also a musician, let's also talk about Ethiopian music and also Ethiopian film industry. What are some of your evaluation of Ethiopian music on the one hand and Ethiopian film industry on the other, especially in terms of, you know, promoting Ethiopia, creating a positive image of the country?
Well, I think when we talk about the movie industry, honestly, we should have been there already, and we're not. With this amazing wealth that we have, an amazing history that we have, and a lot of subjects that we can turn into a movie, I think we're a little weak there. So we need to get going and get you know, get awarded like Indians are doing, like Italians are doing. Exactly. Because we have more contents, more subjects, more stories that to tell, you know. So I think, and at the same time, I'm not going to put it down, because we have come a long way. The movie industry, the music industry, we've come a long way. And I appreciate that. I mean, the difference between 9 years ago when I was here and now is unbelievable. Yeah. So I know, and I hope we're going to get there, and there's no hope, we're going to get there.
Yeah, let's hope so.
Yes.
Yes. But at the same time, a lot remains to be done, I think.
Yes, we do. It is going to require a lot of hard work, but we're going to get there. We have very brilliant producers and directors. I have about a couple more days left for my music video to be shot here in Ethiopia. So I was overwhelmed with the person who wrote the script. I mean, within a short period of time, he came up with amazing script. Hopefully, once we, you know, materialize that, and people will enjoy that. It's my passion. So, but I was impressed with what I've seen so far.
great. Maybe, do you think that language can be issue in promoting Ethiopia globally?
That's definitely a language barrier. Actually, yes, is on the way of us promoting. But with good producers and subtitles, I think we can compete because we have enough talent to compete with the global movie industry.
We can take the example of Indians or others, of course, in this regard.
Oh, yes, we can compete. We have enough talent here in our country.
You have lots of responsibilities and also lots of achievements, right?
I'm blessed.
Yeah.
Glory to God.
What should be done, and where do you think Ethiopia sometime from now?
Yes, with the way it progressed, you know, since I've been here last, it's not going to take us that long to really be lined up with the global or nationwide talented producers or actors, actresses. And that's my wish, and I'm going to work hard in whatever way I can. You know, I will support that. Something that I haven't told you, I am also blessed with 2 beautiful children, and they're the love of my life. My own 2 kids, they're the greatest achievement in my life, and they're very good citizens. So when we arrived here in Ethiopia, this is the first time. It was, well, this trip is historical for me. When I brought them for the first time in their life, they really enjoyed their stay here, and they actually said, we want to come back and live in our beautiful country. We're going to open our own company in the future.
They told you that?
Yes.
They want to live here?
Yes. And my very first 3 days were straight from the airport the next day to holy water. So I took them to the holy water. We did the prayer, holy water, fasting, and they were overwhelmed, and they were so happy we did that. I mean, since that day, since we have the God first, everything is happening the right way. That's my strength.
Okay, I'm glad that they loved it. But what was their first impression before they came here?
Very, very excited. I mean, like in the plane, they were like, they cannot wait to hit the ground. And they're like, I can't believe we're in Africa. You know, they were just so excited. So it's just a blessing to see that.
Yeah, but on the other hand, you know, the narration of some media outlets is negative, you see.
Well, to me, regardless of what media says, the reality is we are one Ethiopia. Together, we're strong. So the message should be, let's hold hands, all of us, unite, let's be one, let's be together, and let's not pay attention to media. And because media actually presents both, you know, good, bad, negative, positive, but we are the one who should be giving positive to the media. We're responsible, each one of us. So if we, each one of us, change ourselves and be positive, the whole media will be positive because there's no negative to report. So my message is, together we're strong.
Finally, let me ask you this question, and we will wrap up. Do you have any plan to participate in Ethiopian film industry or music industry?
I would love to get involved in film industry in Ethiopia because I have taken a proper training before I went to Hollywood for my passion, acting and music and all that. So yeah, it would be amazing for me to see myself in the movies. I will do that in the future. I'll be interested in getting involved. Also, I was approached by a filmmaker here in the country, and they want to, yes, and they want to write my story as in, you know, maybe one day into, I definitely want to do it as in book first, and then they're suggesting maybe movie in the future. More so not for the fame or bragging, so that when we leave this country and live in America for a long time, I would love to give the message to the newcomers to US, the do's and don'ts and how to deal with that culture. So my book is not just for fame or money. My book, I have so much to tell, and that's going to help the newcomers how to deal with that culture. Because I have done a lot of community work, and most of the newcomers there, because they don't have any proper guidance, some of them become depressed, and I've helped a lot of them. So this is very, dear to my heart, where through our experience, through our books, our movies or whatever, we need to educate the young generation that's going to be doing the same thing I just did, which is, live in America, live other parts of the world. But they need help. They need guidance from us, from experienced people. So that's one of my passions in the back of my head, my mind.
Nikki, thank you so much for your ideas, and I wish you every success on the multiple jobs that you are doing.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Well, dear viewers, with that, we come to the end of today's program. Thank you indeed for having been with us so far. Until I see you next time with another program, it's goodbye from me, Faralak.